What if I told you that one of Dodge's most unique muscle cars was almost erased from history, not because of poor performance, but because of its name? The Dart Sport wasn't a brand new model, but a rebranded version of the Dodge Demon. The name change came after pressures from religious groups who took issue with the Demon branding and its devilish pitchfork-wielding logo. Originally introduced in 1963, the Dart started as a compact car designed to offer a smaller, more affordable alternative to the massive land yachts dominating American roads. But by the late 1960s, Dodge recognized the growing demand for compact muscle cars, leading to the introduction of the Dodge Demon in 1971, which was essentially a performance-focused version of the Plymouth Duster. It was smaller, lightweight, and when equipped with the high-performance 340 cubic inch V8, surprisingly quick. By 1973, the NTSB crash regulations played a huge role in the look of American cars, and the Dodge Dart Sport was no exception. Safety mandates required stronger impact protection, which meant noticeable changes to its front and rear end styling. While some enthusiasts lamented the growing size of bumpers on performance cars, Dodge managed to add these updates while still maintaining an aggressive, sporty look. At the front, the Dart Sport featured a V'd-out header panel, and the egg crate grille stretched between two round headlights. Below that, the larger-than-life bumper, now painted body color instead of chrome, complied with federal impact regulations. It originally came with oversized rubber bumper guards, but many owners removed them for a better appearance. Moving to the rear, Dodge introduced rectangular taillights integrated into a wedge-shaped rear bumper, continuing with the streamlined updates while reinforcing the car's muscular stance. The deck lid and quarter panels received a slight redesign as well, featuring angled trailing edges that added a subtle touch of aerodynamics. For those who wanted their Dart Sport to turn even more heads, a flat black performance hood with dual scoops and hood tie-down pins gave the car an unmistakable track-inspired look. Along the sides, AAR-style stripes ran from the front fenders to the rear quarter panels, starting wide and gradually tapering off. Combined with chrome Krager wheels and staggered width tires, these styling choices transformed the Dart Sport from a mild-mannered compact into a street-ready muscle car. The interiors of the 1973 Dodge Dart Sport featured a vinyl black bench seat with matching black carpeting. Dodge also offered several option interior enhancements. Instead of the standard bench seat, drivers could go for high-backed bucket seats with a center console. And to add a touch of class, Dodge included wood grain applique on the dashboard. The instrument cluster remained simple and effective, with a set of basic gauges and indicator lights. The factory AM radio was standard, though many owners installed aftermarket gauges below the dash to monitor vital performance stats. Additionally, Dodge equipped the Dart Sport with a Mopar Tough steering wheel, a thick-rimmed 3-spoke design that gave drivers a firm and confident grip on the road. One of the most unique interior features of the Dart Sport was the convertible rear seat, a design that allowed the back seat to fold down, expanding cargo space and making the Dart Sport more practical for road trips or carrying larger items. Dodge even marketed it as a car that could serve multiple purposes: a daily driver, a performance machine, and even a makeshift camper if needed. For those who wanted to feel the wind while driving, Dodge offered an optional factory sunroof, an unusual feature for muscle cars of the era. If you've been enjoying this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Not all drivers wanted to drive fast and furious. Some were a bit more interested in daily driving, and to cater for these people, the 198 cubic inch Slant 6 was made available. A step up from that was the 225 cubic inch Slant 6, which delivered a bit more horsepower and torque, making it a better option for those who wanted something more powerful without committing to a V8. Dodge also offered the 318 cubic inch LA V8. which was an effective middle ground choice. But for those who wanted true performance, there was only one real option: the legendary 340 cubic inch LA V8. Producing 240 horsepower and 290 foot-pounds of torque, this engine could launch the Dart Sport from 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds, cover the quarter mile in 14.6 seconds at 87.6 miles an hour, and reach a top speed of 118 miles an hour. Of course, all that power under the hood wouldn't have meant much without a solid transmission and drivetrain to put it to the pavement. Dodge offered two main transmission options for the 1973 Dart Sport: the Enthusiast choice and the Casual choice. The A833 4-speed manual transmission was the Enthusiast choice, and with its floor-mounted shifter, allowed for a direct and engaging connection between driver and machine, a feeling perfect for those who wanted full control over the car's performance. For the Casual choice, Dodge also offered the 3-speed TorqueFlite automatic transmission. While automatics were sometimes seen as a compromise in performance cars, Chrysler made sure that the Dodge Sport automatic option was no slouch. One of the biggest upgrades to the 1973 was the introduction of part throttle downshift capability in the TorqueFlite. This meant that even if you weren't at full throttle, the transmission could still drop down a gear when needed, providing better responsiveness for acceleration. Raw horsepower is great, but without the right suspension and braking setup, all that power is just wasted potential. Dodge made sure the 1973's Dart Sport wasn't just quick in a straight line. It also had the handling and stopping power to back it up. The car was equipped with an independent torsion bar front suspension. Unlike traditional coil springs, torsion bars provided a smoother ride and better weight distribution, which was necessary for a compact car packing a V8. This setup helped absorb road imperfections, giving the Dart Sport a more refined feel compared to some of its harsher riding competitors. In the rear, Dodge used leaf springs, a tried and true design that provided excellent stability and load support. Leaf springs may have been old school even by the 1970s, but they were durable and well suited to performance applications. They helped keep the rear end planted under the hard acceleration, reducing wheel hop and improving traction. Stopping power was another area where Dodge didn't cut corners. The Dart Sport came with power disc brakes in the front and drum brakes in the rear. The front disc brakes provided strong, fade-resistant stopping power, while the rear drums handled braking duties without adding unnecessary expense. Tires played a critical role in both handling and braking, and Dodge equipped the Dart Sport with fiberglass belted bias ply tires mounted on 14 by 5.5 inch steel wheels. While bias ply tires were the norm back then, they didn't provide the same grip or durability as modern radials. But these elements worked together to make the Dart Sport more than just a straight-line performer. While it wasn't a full-fledged sports car, it had enough responsiveness and stability to be enjoyable on twisty roads and around town, proving that muscle cars didn't have to be massive, heavy machines to deliver an exciting drive. By 1973, the golden age of muscle cars was starting to fade. The fuel crisis was looming, emissions regulations were tightening, and insurance costs for high-performance vehicles were skyrocketing. The era of massive, gas-guzzling V8s dominating the road was coming to an end, but the Dodge Dart Sport found a way to thrive. The Dart Sport proved that you didn't need a massive, gas-hungry machine to have fun behind the wheel. Ironically, while the Dart Sport was proof that a muscle car performance could exist in a compact, fuel-conscious form, it also helped highlight the growing impracticality of traditional muscle cars. Compared to its larger, thirstier rivals, the Dart Sport made cars like the Dodge Charger or Plymouth Roadrunner seem excessive and outdated. In a way, the success of cars like the Dart Sport helped accelerate the decline of traditional muscle cars. By showing that smaller, more efficient performance cars could still deliver thrills, it made the old-school full-size muscle cars seem less necessary. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section.